Are you tired of losing gunfights in Warzone? With how fast you can be eliminated, winning gunfights can be tougher than ever before. But it can also be easier. In today's video, we're going to be diving deep into the tactics that you need to be using if you want to get more kills and die a little less. So when we talk about winning gunfights in Warzone, we really focus on 5 main simple things. We're going to quickly talk over these 5 things, and then we're actually going to break down both a Rebirth and a Verdansk gameplay so that you can really see them in action. First up is going to be movement. Now, I'm not talking about this crazy YY TikTok 360 stim play movement. I'm talking about using basic movement, basic strafing, basic slide canceling, a little bit of jump here and there to take less damage in gunfights, which allows you to win more gunfights. Number 2 is going to be positioning, making sure we're always keeping track of our cover. We're challenging off of head glitches. We're not over relying on movement and putting ourselves in bad situations. And in both gameplays, we're going to really focus on the balance between positioning and movement. It's very different on Rebirth than it is on Verdansk, so we're going to be really highlighting those throughout. Number 3 is going to be gameplay strategy and decision making. I think this is the biggest area you guys struggle with gunfights, is keeping control of situations, understanding where enemies are, always thinking about where your next fight is, and really understanding what's going on around you, allowing you to make good decisions. Number 4 is going to be centering and anticipation. Here's the reality. The TTK is lightning fast right now. So whoever gets the first shot generally wins the gunfight. It's not always the case, but whoever gets the first shot gives himself a massive advantage. And we're going to pay attention to that throughout, just how much damage I can get and I can do to the enemy by getting the first shot off. So centering and anticipation, putting our crosshairs where we think enemies are going to be. And the last one, guys, the most important thing, I can teach you movement, I can teach you positioning, I can teach you gameplay strategy, I can teach you centering. At the end of the day, if you don't hit your shots, it doesn't matter. Aim is the most important thing. So we're going to start off here on Rebirth. If you're only interested in Verdansk, check the timestamp probably around the 30-ish minute mark, or check the pinned comment for the official time, and you can go ahead and push forward to the Verdansk section of today's video. Now, before we jump in, guys, if you are looking to get better at Warzone, just give me 30 days. Subscribe down below, watch my videos. I promise you'll become a better player, and if not, after 30 days, you can always unsubscribe, but I guarantee you that is not going to happen. This is going to be a high kill solo trios game that we're going to be breaking down, really looking at each gunfight that I take. Now, starting off here early, guys, huge advantage. We got quick fix. We got C9. I mean, that is a great start to this game. Puts us in a really good spot to be able to win gunfights early. But my focus here is still not fighting. My focus here is, hey, how do I get loadout as fast as possible? That's ultimately the advantage that I'm looking for. Pop UAV. Let's go ahead and start to figure out what's going on around us. 2 enemies on my level. Let's really break down this situation, help you understand my thought process. There's a few things that I want to highlight here. Okay, so 1 guy down. There's a lot of things to really understand about this situation. Now, number 1, I just told you that loadout was my priority, right? So why do I push these guys? Right? I see that there's 2 enemies on my level right here. Why do I push through this window and challenge? Well, the answer is, guys, I'm nowhere close to loadout. So I know that I'm going to have to loot up through here in order to potentially get loadout, or I just need to leave this whole situation. But I've got C9, I've got quick fix. I'm in a really good spot to go ahead and challenge this. Now, from here, we see this guy push out the door. Now, we know that this guy is pushing through here. What do you do in this situation? Honestly, you already know what happens, but what do? You probably chase this guy, you try to put the pressure on, and then this guy pushes down the stairs, and he ends up shooting you in the back, and you end up going down because you sandwich yourself. Now, what I do here is understand that people play predictable. So, I kind of hear that guy slide to my right. Now, the moment that I don't see this guy here, again, just keeping in mind that if I go push this guy, I'm most likely going to get pinched from behind me. Okay, so what I do is say, hey, I know this guy is probably going to challenge me and follow me here. I'm going to try to catch him off guard. Now, when we slow this down, this guy actually gets first shot off on me. And once again, you see how much damage he does, but I'm just going to use basic movement. A little bit of a strafe, a little bit of a jump. We take a little bit less damage. There's his bullet right there. There's bullet number 1, bullet number 2. That's me taking less damage. That allows me to win that gunfight. Now, immediately what I'm thinking about here is, where's his teammate? Right? Where's that second enemy? Push through. We hip fire with the AMAX, and then our eyes go to minimap right here, guys. This is your best friend. I promise you, if you guys just start to use the minimap better, start to understand where your next fight is. We've got 1 guy above, 1 guy down below. They are split. right? This is two 1v1 fights that I have right now because they can't help each other. So when we put ourselves in a 1v2, which we'll talk about, that's like not where we want to be. We want to try to find as many 1v1 fights as we possibly can. Watch the centering and anticipation right here. Now, we're going to really start to get in a groove here with kind of this breakdown and understanding gunfights, but I want you to understand two very important things about this situation. Not one on my perspective, one on his perspective. Number one, first shot, okay? This guy's already broken, and I have not taken a single bullet of damage because of my centering, because of my anticipation, because I'm ready for this enemy. The second thing that I do want to highlight here is, technically speaking, he jumps, okay? And I want you to understand the importance of, or the value of jumping in gunfights. Look at where I'm hitting right now, and look at where he's aimed at, okay? He's like my head level. So he's potentially, if he was hitting shots here, he would be hitting my head. What does that mean? Well, when we look at the TTKs, okay, this is your low damage area. Sorry, this is your low damage area here. Okay, these leg shots. This is your kind of mid damage area, right? And of course, this is going to be your high damage area. This is where we where we want to be most of the time. But because he changes levels by jumping, now I'm mixing in low damage areas here, and he's mixing in high damage areas if he was hitting his shots, which he would have a lightning fast TTK. Ultimately able to win this gunfight right here. I take a little bit of damage. Last guy is up above. So I'm working that direction here. Down below. I told you we're going to groove. I promise you guys, but my whole goal is just to help you become a better player. That's what I'm going to do here. What do you notice about this? Guys, this is really important to understand. When we are aimed down sight, our tracking is very slow because of that ADS sensitivity multiplier. So what do? I have to un-ADS here, right? There it is. I'm not aimed down sight anymore because this is my normal sensitivity to track that enemy. And now I aim back in, and that allows me to get that kill. Once again, not taking a ton of damage. That is how we avoid getting our camera broken, and we kind of keep up with enemies who are moving super quick. Watch, pull out the melee, right? This is a big part of gunfights, especially when it comes to fighting outnumbered, using the unlimited tack sprint to our advantage to be able to get away from enemies and break that line of sight. Look at the centering and anticipation here. Hip fire. Hip firing before you actually aim down sight is something we're really going to focus on, guys. It's going to give you a huge advantage. That first shot advantage, you would be shocked by how much damage you can do. Now, where are these enemies? Very simple, guys. As soon as... Remember, gameplay strategy is crucial. The more we can control we can keep, the better off we're going to be. These guys are above me. I hear the shooting. I check the minimap. These guys are above. Let's go ahead and challenge them with a little bit of positioning. Playing the head glitch. Playing patient, right? Trigger discipline, not over-challenging. And the one thing I missed there, which it is what it is, this is why we play positioning and we don't try to dance on guys, is look where I play from, okay? So right here, I'm a very hard target to hit because I'm literally on a head glitch. He can only see my head, and I can see his entire body, right? So we have enemy number 1 and enemy number 2. Now, what I didn't see as I was pushing up here, and what I missed, is I see enemy number 1, I see enemy number 2. What I did not see was enemy number 3 who was laying prone. So this is the guy who ultimately shoots me, but this is where positioning is so important, and trigger discipline, and not giving away my location, because when I'm playing up here, I have cover, and then it's all about breaking the line of sight. We drop down, right? I know exactly where I can go to break the line of sight and finesse. Pushing in. Quick fix. One guy this way. This fight gets so weird. This is where we got to be careful early because of these floor loot guns. This is why I want to prioritize loadout. I want to prioritize loadout there because of that 30-round mag, right? Look, is this solo quads? Maybe I'm in solo quads. I might be in solo quads, but look, what do you see? One guy. This guy's above. He cannot help him. This guy's over here. He cannot help him. So I immediately know, guys, that I need to focus on this enemy right here. I don't have any plates, so I'm down a plate, which is fine. Watch this. What's your thought process? You think these guys are just, you think these guys, there's two guys. There was just fighting right here. There was just fighting right here, okay? Do you think these two guys are just having fun shooting guns at each other and they're on the same team? No. So, like, go third party this, right? Slide through, anticipation. And when we talk about this gunfight, guys, just watch. Pay attention. Okay, let me slow this down. I want you to pay attention to the sides of the door, okay? Pay attention to how much I'm back and forth here. Centering, anticipation, first shot. Okay, so that gives me an advantage right there. Fight's probably, honestly, just about even. I don't know how I'm taking damage with this gun up in the air. Don't ask me that. Okay, left. There's the bullets, right? There's his bullets missing to my right side. Strafing, right? There's more bullets missing to my left side. I still have 150 health here because that's where basic movement, guys. I'm not going in there going 360 spin, all this stuff. I'm using basic movement to take less damage. There wasn't even a jump there. I didn't even jump in that situation. That was just basic strafing. One guy pushing this way. Look at the anticipation. Look at the hip fire to track. Able to get that kill. One guy above, one guy down below. Let's start working down below again, right? Let's start working towards our next gunfight here. Trigger patience, right? Do not give away your location unless you have to. The general rule of thumb here that I try to follow is do not shoot your gun unless you are 90% confident that you can get the kill, right? C9, this range, this guy's moving to the left. I'm never going to be able to get the kill. Think about how many people are potentially in prison here, right? You have this guy. You have this guy that's over this way, right? You probably have people on the roof here. You maybe have people anywhere inside. The moment that I shoot my gun, I tell every single one of those people, hey, here I am. And I'm by myself, right? So I've got to be really strategic about this, dynamic of giving away my location. Hip fire. You see how much I'm hip firing. I'll tell you this, guys. When I am playing well and I'm getting easy kills, I am hip firing really, really, really well. Now, dying's inevitable, guys. It's going to happen. Why did I die right there? Bad positioning. I'm completely exposed from my right side here, which I knew there were people up there, right? So this is where, hey, first of all, it's not that big of a deal, guys, right? We die. We're still going to drop. I think I drop a 30. Yeah, I think this challenge was 10 gifted on my stream to drop 30 kills. So I think we dropped 30 here. We're already at 8 here in the first circle. Fun fact, we talk about loadout. I obviously had a really good start there early game. Is 15 seconds here before first circle finishes closing. So it's going to drop in like a second here. Ready? 3, 2, 1. There it is. So just keep that in mind. 15 seconds before first circle finishes closing is when loadout drops. And obviously now at this point, guys, we've got a pretty good advantage. We got C9. LC10's a great option right now. We're going to have our Craig. We've got Scavenger, Quick Fix, and Tempered. Tempered allows us to get back into fights quicker. Quick Fix allows us to, plate up quickly and obviously regen our base health and shoot our gun while plating. A lot of people ask me, Joe, do you run Quick Fix even with it being on the ground? Yes, I want guaranteed Quick Fix. And then I have Scavenger for cash flow. The reason I run Quick Fix is because in this situation right here, I would not have Quick Fix. So I want to make sure that I always have it. Quartermaster. And at that point, I'm not 100% sure what Quartermaster does, but I'm going to use it to my advantage. 1. 2. 3. Get out the window. Let's break this down. I can't control windows, guys. By the way, we're gonna not only wipe this team in a little bit, but we're also gonna go on a crazy run. So, number 1, easy kill right there. Biggest thing right here, though, is my positioning, right? I'm not gonna, and we're gonna continue talking about this positioning dynamic within Grandma's. But look, I'm playing from outside window. If this guy shoots me, or like hypothetically speaking, say there's a guy here that shoots me, or maybe even this guy shoots me, right? I have a lot of options here, right? I can drop down, I can go drop bottom left, I can go bottom right. Like I can go a lot of different directions here in terms of being able to break that line of sight and get away. Now, this guy in the corner completely catches me off guard. So what do? Well, this is a situation we just got to shoot and move our way out of. Obviously, a few missed shots there. We can see his bullets. That's a good start. Where are we when I actually start shooting? So I'm not quite broken yet, but I'm definitely not in a good position. Strafing. Strafing. Little bit of a jump there. But at that point, he's pretty much already downed. Right? And then, of course, I happen to see this guy on minimap to my left side pushing across here. And from here, once again, he's aimed this way because that's where I was. Obviously, we're going to go ahead and get first shot. We jump to mix in the high damage area right there. He's broken. I'm broken. This is a straight up 1v1 fight. This is a straight up 50-50, right? All things are equal. My health is equal and his health is equal. And then, obviously, unfortunately, just can't get out the window. Thirst number 1. Thirst number 2. Get out the window. I can't. So, you know what? That is what it is, guys. A little bit unfortunate. That's going to happen. You have 2 choices in this moment. You can absolutely lose full, throw your controller, punch your monitor, or you can say, hey, I'm 11-2 right now. I've got a 5.5 KD. There's 10 teams up. It's second circle. Let's go ahead and get back in here and try to regain as quick as possible. Now, of course, for me, guys, I only need 6,000 to regain here because I'm in solo quads. So, we're going to go ahead. We're going to get right back in the mix. Let's go ahead and grab loadout. Obviously, we see a bunch of fighting up top here still. We already knew that those teams were up there in Grandma's. But let's go ahead and get up top. Now, when we talk about positioning, yeah, like, guys, some of you guys don't think about this. Some of you guys try to push straight through. I'm going to go ahead and flip the script and try to play a little bit more positioning here. Put myself in a good spot where I can take the zip. I can get, you know, all the way up to prison here. Got to be really careful. I obviously see all this fighting down below me. Look at this guy down below. I hear him stop moving. So where is he? Right there. High damage area is easy. I love this, by the way. I absolutely love this situation. You're about to see about 12 kills in the next, like, 2 minutes or so. 1. That's an easy one. A little bit of positioning. Watch the positioning here. Okay? Now, okay, let me just show you here. Because these guys are kind of caught behind my camera. Just for anybody that's... Guys, you see my camera here, but it's really... Understand that these guys are very, very much hidden behind my camera here. Right? So there they are. They're straight across, centering. Not quite able to get that down, which is unfortunate. This guy's over to my left side. Let's go ahead and take the easy kill right here. This guy's flying in. He's got no plates. He's got no gun. What do we do right here? We're getting shot in the back. This guy's down. We're low health. Use your smokes. A lot of you guys forget that you have smokes. Smoke. Trust it. Okay? Let's plate up, and now we start to get out of here. Shooting over to my right side. Shooting right here. Watch this gunfight right here. Watch the hip fire. Watch the hip fire. Right? Hip fire, and then we jump to the right. Watch the jump to the right. Ready? Jump to the right. That literally, you could see the bullets again. Right? That's what allows me to win this gunfight here, as well as the high damage areas. Still got this team above me, though. We're not gonna break this down slow. The one word I'm gonna tell you here is reposition. Okay? That's it. Reposition. Constantly. Find different angles. Anticipation and centering. Knock. Use my lethal. Replate. Know this jump spot. Jump across. Knocked. Ready? Pressure's on them to revive. Knock. Reposition. Catch this guy off guard. Reposition. Find a different angle. Be unpredictable. There's the wipe. That was the team that I was fighting earlier. So constantly throughout that, guys, you just see that I'm taking different angles. I'm using lethals and tacticals to my advantage. If you're running, like, impact nades are great. Frag grenades are great. You know, use those to be able to put the pressure on enemies. And then from here, you know, once again, I can easily break the line of sight if needed. If this guy is over here, this is where we talk about close quarters positioning. You know, if this guy shoots me, or, like, you know, this guy shoots me right here, you know, there's obviously not a guy there, but if he is, then what do? I just drop down below, and these guys can no longer see me out this window, and I'm clear, right? At which point I have a lot of different options on how I can plate up and re-engage. One guy down below. Now, I don't know what happens right here, but I get a little bit... I don't know what happens. But now we just go to work with the melee, right? Get that melee out. Get in the habit of that, because that's going to give us a lot of outplay potential. All I'm thinking about here is breaking lines of sight. That's it. Just break line of sight, break line of sight, break line of sight. Bunch of fighting over to my left side. Look, they're not shooting at each other. Check. Nice. Look at minimap. Watch minimap. Now, this is really, really important, guys, when it comes to this gameplay strategy and decision-making dynamic. Okay? We're able to easily get this kill right here. But I want you to just stare at the minimap for a second and watch this guy. Watch. He's above me. Now, a lot of you guys in this moment are probably thinking, oh, okay, he's flying in, da-da-da-da-da. These guys are flying in. Watch where he ends up. Right? So now, all of a sudden, he's on my level. Now, all of a sudden, he's down below me. Right? So that's where we have to use the minimap to understand where people are moving to. It's not just what we first see. It's also where are they moving to and where they end up so that we can make our next decision. Right? So I check that. Then I see him on buy, down thirsted, impact nade, next piece of information. I hear a guy down below me. Watch the centering. Right? And that's where that TTK is so fast that there's nothing he could do. And then watch this next kill right here. Watch this next one. See him? There is just so much happening, right? Okay, first things first. Let's look at minimap, right? He's above me, but again, watch where he's moving to. See how he's moving? It's pretty obvious this guy's moving towards the stairwell, right? Then from here, we're caught off guard. Hip fire. We're 50-50. There's the jump to hit the high damage area. And I just barely win that gunfight. But at the end of the day, barely wins the gunfight. And that doesn't matter. By the way, where are the enemies moving to? Okay, once again, watch this guy right here. I'm going to keep highlighting this because a lot of you guys are not good at using the minimap. And when we talk about winning gunfights and centering in anticipating based off of information, if you don't get this information, you don't know where to go next. Right? There he is. Up top, centering in anticipation. Pretty easy kill right there. Right? Pretty easy kill right there. By the way, I have $46,000 here when it comes to cash flow. One. Guy above. Two. Pop 3 for the advanced UAV. We don't need anything else. I bought PA. I don't know why. Probably to PA these guys above me here. One guy over this way. Again, take the easy kill. Take the easy kill. Right? The guy flew in. He's got no plates. He does have a gun at this point. He might have a C9 or something, but he has no plates. I have a plate advantage there, so I'm absolutely going to take it. This guy just dropped down here. One. Revive to my left side. Yep. Just be careful here. Watch. 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 Watch this guy right here. I'm going to keep highlighting this. I'm going to be annoying about this, guys. I'm going to be annoying. Watch this guy right here. Watch him. Oh, now he's on my level. Right? Now which way is he pushing? Pushing my direction. We just anticipate here. Not quite able to get the down, but we still anticipate right there, and we're ready. And this is where the advanced UAV is super helpful. Enemy down here. Right? So now all I know is I just got to watch this guy up top here. Right? Where are you? Think ahead. Think ahead. Now I can just track and follow. Now he's completely out in the open. Ah, okay. I'll just leave you. I'm not going to put the pressure on that guy. I'll just go take this full kill here. Take that easy kill. Reset. Respawn is disabling, of course. We're going to go in and pop another advanced UAV. You can see gunfights. Here's what I'll tell you guys, and I have been very careful about saying this, but I want to say it to you guys. How confident would you feel in a gun? So confidence equals information plus execution, right? The ability to understand where people are and the ability to win gunfights. How confident would you feel if I gave you wall hacks to win a gunfight? Like if you could see everybody through walls, you'd feel pretty confident with pushing enemies, right? That's essentially what a UAV is if your centering in anticipation is good, right? If your centering in anticipation is good, where I see this guy flying in, I kind of see this guy working towards the stairwell a little bit. He's pushing right down low to me. I hear him, and then we're going to go ahead and execute. That's essentially what a UAV does for you if you kind of think about where enemies are and then put your crosshairs there. That same level of confidence should apply, but a lot of you guys struggle with this UAV dynamic and you're not able to kind of get that information, at which point you're in a really bad spot to act on anything. You're just wandering. Yeah, we're at 32 here. Worried about this guy down below. You know, I could technically go push this if I wanted to. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's a 1v1 fight, right? That's the most important thing. I'm always looking for 1v1 fights. There were a lot of situations throughout this where I had to move and groove, But we don't want to be in that situation if we don't have to be. Now I'm going to go ahead and take it. Right? Now we just go ahead. Where is he? Pushing upstairs. We just a little bit of hip fire there. That's a pretty easy gunfight win. What do we do? Work our way across. I probably could have popped UAV. It is in advanced UAVs here and put myself in a better spot, but... Knocked. 1, 2, 3. And at the end of the day, guys, when it comes down to it, you can't 1v3. You can't 1v3 when they're all three shooting at you. It's hard enough to 1v... You can't 1v2 when they're all looking at you. I don't know why my impact nades didn't do more here. I should have played this more patient. Should have played this more strategic. But yeah, I dropped down, and this guy shoots me, and this guy one pumps me. And it is what it is. This is a great example of why we have to play strategic and use positioning, and even if it's close quarters positioning, where we have that escapability when we are facing multiple enemies. Let's go ahead and jump into Verdansk. So let's go ahead and jump into Verdansk here, guys. Real quick before we do jump in, if you are looking to get better at Warzone, just give me 30 days. Subscribe down below, watch my videos. I promise you'll become a better player. And if not, after 30 days, you can always unsubscribe. I totally get it, but I guarantee you that is not going to happen. Now, starting off here, early game, I love this new downtown building, guys. There's a ton of loot here so I can get loadout. There's generally enemies here so I can get kills. And on top of that, if at any point in time I'm in a bad spot, there's a lot of outplay potential. I can jump down any which direction. But why do I not land on the rooftop here? Why do I not land up here? Number one, I hate fighting with a pistol, okay? So I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I have to execute with a gun that I hate using. So instead, I'm actually going to land down here on the second floor, look for guns, and then I'll work my way to the rooftop where I know people are going to be. People always land on the rooftops. Number two is I'm playing in solo duos, so I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I don't want to land here and then immediately get full sent by two enemies and get shot with the pistol and die in about 10 seconds. So I'm just going to avoid that situation. We're going to land in this way, and I follow the same exact loot pattern every single game. I push through these double doors. Sometimes there's a crate here. Then, if I open that crate, I'm still going to go ahead and check. There's usually one on the back side of that stairwell, and then I go ahead and push up to the top here, right? Regardless of what gun I have. I'm going to go ahead and open this crate here, which there usually is one. We have an aims, so I can at least win a gunfight. It's not a great TTK gun. It's very easy to use, but we're going to go ahead and upgrade this a little bit with the SWAT 556. So now we can start to work our way up, and all I'm doing in this moment, which is something we're going to talk about throughout, is I'm just trying to see what I can find here. You know, generally speaking, more games than not, people are going to land on this rooftop right here. Now, they have ultimate high ground, so this is a little bit of a tough position. But in this moment right here, positioning-wise, I can always go back down the stairs where I came from in an instant, right? If I don't like this gunfight or I get shot, I can always go right back down the stairwell and break the line of sight and get out of that. That's probably the number one thing we're going to focus on throughout this entire thing is positioning. You know, playing our high ground, putting ourselves in good spots, but also how do I keep control and understand where enemies are? Because that's an area a lot of you guys struggle. That's just basic execution, a little bit of strafing, obviously hitting high damage areas. Did not want to fall down right there, to be honest with you. For those of you guys that are new here, I'm going to really take my time with this and really break this down. I did get one kill right there. And now I'm just thinking about, okay, can I find an SMG anywhere? I hear some footsteps. Footsteps are everywhere in this building, so I gotta always just be head on a swivel. Listen. When I hear that parachute, I know that it's just some dude holding his parachute. So immediately I'm like, okay, if this guy's just like floating down this way here, that's an easy kill. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about in this moment. What do you do here? We go chase, right? Absolutely not. The only time we can go chase up a zip, guys, is if they are literally like one shot, or we could take so much damage and still get that kill because he only has like 25 health left. In this case, I didn't do a ton of damage. If I take zip here, he's just going to sit there and wait for me. And then I'm going to have to like pop off the zip and like, I'm just going to be dead because he's just going to hold it. So no point in taking this fight right now. We'll go ahead and circle back to that here in a little bit. Again, I'm going to work my way back up top, just hoping I can maybe find an SMG in this moment. Can we find an SMG? No. Okay. We actually find the exact same aims we already had. But let's go ahead and work back up top. We can see the weapon pings. Okay, guys, when it comes to acting on information, weapon pings is one of the most important things on Verdansk. Again, area that a lot of you guys struggle because it's free information. It's literally free information. Now, that kind of leads me to this point, guys, which is when you pull the trigger, you better be like 90+% sure you can get the down. Because the same way I told you it's free information when other teams do it and other enemies do it, it's free information for everybody else. So if there's 4 enemies on this rooftop, they're now all focused on me. The other dynamic is the moment you pull the trigger and you don't get the down, they start to finesse, they start to break lines of sight, they tell their teammate exactly where you are, and now all of a sudden the fight becomes a whole lot tougher. So be very strategic about when you pull the trigger. Listen. You hear that down below? That's that guy's teammate pushing over because I shot my gun and he told his teammate that I was right here. Watch the centering. Look at the centering and anticipation right here. At this point, guys, he's broken, I'm not. Like, I've got a huge advantage here. And this is just basic centering, hitting high damage areas. Obviously, little bit of strafing, but biggest thing there, guys, is just these high damage areas. A lot of you guys miss way too low here. You just need to kind of work up a little bit, making sure we're hitting at least chest shots. We want to mix in headshots, but at least chest shots. I don't know why I was so over-aggressive and pushed back up top here. This is kind of a crazy play, but just watch how much damage you can do in an instant. Broken. Broken. Equal. We're equal right here. Like, literally, if you think about it, guys, in that instant, I even this fight out. Plate straight ahead. I'm desperate. And a C9. So now I've got plates, I've got a C9 and a SWAT. Like, I'm feeling very confident that I can win gunfights. Where is this enemy? I want you to remember that enemy. This guy's flying. I was 90% sure that I could get this down. And I broke him, but unfortunately, I could not quite get that down. Which means what? The enemy that I was just fighting is going to push over here. Outside down below. And the biggest thing that I want to note here, we're not going to use positioning a whole lot. Again, focusing we're not going to use movement a whole lot. We're going to focus a lot on positioning, but sometimes we do have to use movement in 1v1 situations and in 1v2 situations. But right here, guys, he breaks my camera. All I'm going to do is I'm going to stay on ADS. I'm going to hit fire right here. I'm going to catch up to him. He's broken before he's even done a bullet of damage to me. And now we just clean it up right there with a little bit of a jump strafe. Now, what do we think about in this moment? Where is that enemy that was over here, right? Where's the enemy that I was shooting at? A lot of winning gunfights, guys, is keeping control, acting on information, centering and anticipation. And yeah, I think it's probably those 3 things more than anything, and playing positioning, right? Now, I want you to watch really, really closely this little door right here. Watch this really, really carefully. I'm going to slow this down for you. See this? See this right here? That's him. Watch him move. Watch the movement. See that little bit of movement? I want you to watch it full speed, because this is what told me where he was. Right? Spring mine down below. No. Watch that little... You see that little bit of movement? That's all that I needed to know that he was over here. Obviously, he's very low health. And from here, guys, we go get loadout. Right? We see that guy up top. I want you to remember that information. Weapon pings, UAVs, remembering information. That is how we can keep control of situations on Verdansk. Let's go and get loadout. Not only, guys, are loadout guns a huge advantage when it comes to, like, range, recoil, mobility, TTK, all that stuff, all the intangibles, but also perks. So in this case, guys, I'm running Scavenger, Tracker, and Bird's Eye. Bird's Eye in solos and duos, Tempered in trios and quads. Somebody on your team in trios and quads should run Bird's Eye so you can see ghosted players, right? So nobody can hide from me. I always know exactly what I'm pushing into. Worst case scenario is I go push a solo player, second enemy's ghosted, I put myself in a really bad spot. Now from here, focus, okay? Let's lock in. Start talking about gunfights even more. I got shot at. First thing you notice, guys, cover, right? As soon as I hear those bullets, I'm looking for cover and I'm looking at the minimap. Boom, you can see I immediately use this trash can here to break the line of sight, and I'm going to go ahead and look at the minimap, and most importantly, I confirm that this enemy is on my level straight ahead of me. Now, I don't really 100% know where. I don't 100% know where. Okay, I'm trying to figure it out. I know he's this direction here, but watch what I do here. Okay, we're going to start to ingrain this in you, and I want you to start to always think about it first, and then adjust from there. Push across, anticipate. This guy's kind of straight ahead of me here. Right? Zip. Why? Because if this guy slides out here, okay, even if this guy slides out here and just absolutely freaking destroys me to the point where I'm one bullet, there's nothing he can do because I have high ground. High ground gives us a safety net. That's the most important thing. It means they can't immediately get a thirst. Plus, it gives us a better angle and gives us more information. Now, when it comes to first shot dynamic, don't be afraid to use your lethal, right? When you're pushing a building or pushing a guy sitting in a corner, you know, that thermite did maybe 50 health. That's the same thing as getting the first shot off and really using that to our advantage. Now, from here, let's go ahead. We're going to work right back to the big building. Remember that guy that flew in? Remember the guy that flew in that was up top? Perfect. Let's go ahead and act on that information. I don't have enough for a UAV, so let's go ahead and work on that. Parachute. Where's that parachute? That parachute is right down below me here. Yep. So you're going to see me jump on the edge here. Okay. And we see this guy down below. Now, immediately what I'm thinking about is this. He's got no gun. And he has 2 plates. This right here is advantage, big advantage to me. Right? So let's go take this easy kill. The name of the game in Verdansk is not rushing situations. Okay, it's a long game, so we can. You're gonna see this. This is a 20+ kill solo duos game that I had, guys. You're gonna see my patience throughout this entire game. Is not playing over aggressive, trying to be smart. This was a little bit over aggressive for sure, but that guy has no plates. Now I know that I have the guy up top, but the name of the game is patience and taking easy kills. 1v1 fights where we have an advantage. That guy jumped down low, so what am I gonna do? Straight back to high ground, right? Let's go up to high ground again. And when we talked about that zip situation earlier, where how long it can take to get off a zip, kind of the situation that we're in, you know, and trying not to put ourselves in a bad situation, watch what happens to this guy, right? We're just playing our high ground, trying to see what I can find. Obviously, when we talk about high ground, one of the biggest advantages is information, guys. Look at how much I can see. Here, I can see over here if I need to. Here, I can see all of this area, all in the streets. I can see people rotating. I can see so much up here. We're going to constantly go back to that. There's Zip. This guy can't do anything. GG's. We're up to 7 kills already. Immediately thinking about this next team that's probably still in this big downtown building. Now, what's the mistake that I make here? Should have gotten UAV here. Would have just allowed me to push a lot more confidently, allowed me to kind of really put myself in a good spot. I'm kind of going in here blind. Enemy dropping in, so I at least know, again, 2 plates, no gun. I have that advantage, but where is he? I have no idea. I have no idea. And when we have no idea, guys, this is where we talk about clearing. Clearing a building is all about process of elimination. Literally just ask yourself, is he here? No. Go to the next spot. Is he here? No. Go to the next spot. Watch. This is it. I don't know where this guy is. I'm pretty confident he's not rooftop, but let's clear it. Is he there? No. 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 Is he there? Yeah, perfect. We're ready for him. You know, and not only are we clearing to find him, we've got to actually be ready for that enemy, right? And that's exactly what happened right there, is we just kind of clear that building one corner at a time, clear this floor one corner at a time, and then we're able to get that kill. Now we go back down to UAV. Information. I continue to go back to this example. If I gave you, and don't take this out of context, guys, but like, I just want you to think about this. If I gave you wall hacks, how easy would it be for you to get kills? Now, if your answer is it would still be difficult, that means you got to work on your aim and movement, right? But if I told you if you could see exactly where people are through walls, how easy would it be for you to get gunfights? That is what happens when we have a UAV up and you start to get better at your anticipation and centering. Because based on the information that we have on a UAV, we can figure out exactly where those enemies are, at which point we can easily get that kill, okay? Again, if you aren't feeling that way, then you need to work on your execution and work on your aim and movement, which I am doing a full aim and movement guide here on how to practice here soon. That'll be in a few days, but let's go ahead and jump back in here. We're at 8 kills. Let's go ahead and kill our, I think this should be frontman skin. Yeah, notice the mini-map right here. Watch mini-map, guys. Watch mini-map. Okay, so this right here is our weapon ping. This is somebody shooting their gun, but watch what happens. He's on my level. Now he's down below me. So I know he's somewhere down below. We're going to work this direction here. I'll let it play, and then we'll break it down. So this is actually a pretty interesting one here. You know, first things first, I'm just working this direction here. You know, I don't know where this guy is. I know he's down below me. So, you know, I'm starting to work through here. You know, maybe I push up the stairs like we just did last time. Maybe I push down low, but I catch a quick glimpse of the front man skin. Okay, so watch the centering here. Watch the crosshairs. We slide, boom, crosshairs are out. You can see this allows me to kind of, actually, I think he gets, kind of get equal first shots there, but you can see a few, and then all we're going to do is a circle here. All I'm going to do is I'm going to slide, and then I stop, and then I kind of like circle back to where I came from. It's a jump strafe. That's it. I'm just going to basically do my normal strafing, and as I'm doing it, so I'm going to strafe left here. As I'm doing that, I'm just jumping. That's it, right? So there's the strafe, and there's the jump, and you can see there's the bullets right there. That allows me to take less damage and ultimately get that down. Now, I can't get the thirst, because where's enemy number 2? I took a lot of damage. Where is enemy number 2? So I just kind of back off here for a second. Now, the moment that I get shot at, look at minimap. How many of you guys look at minimap here and say, oh, this guy's actually up above me? I can't be here. You know, if this guy's here, I can break line of sight here or here, right? But the moment that I know this guy's above me, hey, I got to back out of this situation here. Right? Back out. We once again play our positioning, and sure enough, there he is. Can't quite get the down. That would have been a great one to have, but we know that we can get the thirst now. 1. I throw that thermite up there just to potentially do damage, but watch how we clear. Now, this time, I'm pretty sure that the guy's on the rooftop, right? Because I know he was up there already. One guy flying in. You know, we're going to take these easier kills. Not my problem, right? We're going to take any easy kill that we can get. Not my problem. Now, where is this enemy? Where is that guy that we shot at? Right? Where is the enemy number 2 of the front man? Where's his teammate? I have no idea. Clear. Again, clear. You can see we're just process of elimination. Not here. Open that for cash and a plate if we need it. Now we go right back down after kind of looking. We're just looking. We're playing our high ground here. It's okay to stop and look every once in a while, guys. Look how much high ground we have, right? It's okay to stop and look and say, hey, is anything around me? Do I see anything? Do I see a guy flying in? Do I see a buyback flare, a recon flare? Like, is there anything that I see? Okay. 2 guys right here. What do we do? What do we do? What am I going to ingrain in your brain throughout this entire video? High ground, right? Now, high ground does kind of like 3 things for us here, essentially. Number 1 is, of course, I don't know if I stayed and went through the building, especially with like the tents that are down below this way that kind of are out front of the building. I don't know if I can actually catch up to this enemy. Right? You know this enemy's pushing back this way to find his teammate, right? He's working back this way. So there's a chance that if I push down through this building right here, that I actually don't ever have the angle to get the down, okay? So high ground obviously allows us to kind of move a little bit quicker here to get this high ground and kind of get this angle. Gives us a great angle, gives us a lot of cover. Also gives us, again, that information dynamic. You know, I can see all over here behind my camera, all down here. I can see all over here. Like, I can see so much information. Also allows me to get into a better spot a little bit quicker instead of being, you know, caught rotating on foot. Obviously, you have a triangle over here. We're not going to put ourselves in the middle. We're going to kind of play our positioning. I did not get that kill, unfortunately, but I know that I have another team here. So what do we do? High ground. Like, watch what I do here. I'm going to continue to play smart, put myself in a good position, play really strategic, and just let the kills happen. Okay? I don't have to fly around like a maniac to drop a 20-kill game. We've just got to play smart. Got to stay alive. We've got to execute really well. We've got to act on the next piece of information really well and kind of always work towards our next fight. But you're going to see this right here. We're going to play high ground. I know these guys are in the building to my right side. And by the way, I do end up fighting this guy, one of these guys low ground, but watch. Yep, find the angle. We got to execute. There's enemy number 2. Probably should have gone for that thirst there and then worried about enemy number 2 so that we removed the self-revive dynamic. But this guy's got a sniper. Right? What? He's going to pull out the sniper here. Even if this guy snipes me and calls in a PA immediately, he cannot get the full kill. He cannot get the full kill on me up here. 0 ways. No way to get the full kill. That is the benefit of high ground. Okay? So I know that this guy's going to keep challenging there. So at this point, guys, I decide to ultimately go challenge him low ground. And then from here, centering and basic movement. This is it. Right? Centering. And once again, when we slow this down, guys, It's not me YYing trying to do 360s. All it is me aiming, me shooting. We're head on 50-50. By the way, this is the worst possible spot we can be in. We don't want to be in here, but at the end of the day, we got to execute and just a little bit of strafing. And once again, there are the bullets allowing us to take less damage. I promise you, and for those of you guys on controller, like, strafing increases your rotational aim assist. Sorry, keyboard mouse players, I know you should strafe as well, but controller players, it increases your rotational aim assist. So, like, if you just focus on strafing a little bit more, acting a little bit more on information, strafing a little bit more, you'll absolutely start to win more gunfights. And if you subscribe, you'll start to win more gunfights. Now, I'm going to let this play after telling you the cardinal rule, okay? The cardinal rule is do not push out of circle. And always rotate in early. And you will see why. Okay? This is just the... I don't know why I broke my cardinal rule here. I really don't. Like, this is such a dumb play to make. Because I know zone's pushing in. Right? So we have 2 minutes. We got some time here. There's a bunch of fighting over this way. But, like... You know, now there's 2 enemies. There's this guy kind of that's going to be driving by my left side in a car. I'm just trying to see what I can find here. Car over this way. You can see zone's already starting to push in. And guys, bad things happen when you fight out of zone and on the edge of zone. And if you don't believe me, just watch. If you don't believe me, just watch. Just focus on getting into circle early, putting yourself in a good position. The more we're in circle, the better off we're going to be. Here comes the most wanted, right? Again, now I've got zone pushing me. I've got a most wanted. I've got no gas mask. And I've got a car chasing me down that's literally hunting me. And by the way, not only are they hunting me, but they also have a trophy system. Okay, so I can't even thermite the car. And now at this point, guys, I'm on the edge of zone. I'm getting shot in the back from a team. I'm trying to dodge the car as much as possible. Bad things happen when you are out of zone. So focus on rotating early. Generally, probably, preferably with a vehicle. I'm getting shot. I'm getting chased. This guy's out of the car. I'm going to go ahead and use this to buy... I mean, I just 500 IQ this guy. He is so mad. But, like, I 500 IQ this guy. And by the way, do it once, shame on me. Do it twice, shame on me even more. Like, why am I trying to fight? Just go play from, like, here or this building and just hold this guy out of zone. I don't know what I was thinking in this moment. But once again, I just put myself in a really bad position. There he is right there. You know, enemy dropping in. I mean, this guy just gets absolutely slam-a-jamma. A little bit of movement there, by the way, guys, just to really quickly break this down. When we talk about re-challenging, step number 1 is break the line of sight because it makes you unpredictable, okay? So, like, the moment I break the line of sight here, he doesn't know if I'm going this way or this way. If you saw, and as you'll see again, he anticipates me going this way, and what actually wins me this gunfight is me sliding around and having this little window, right? There's the window of opportunity right there because he's aiming this way here, right? There's the break. So obviously we're not quite even because he's broken and I'm still low health here. But we get the down. I throw the smoke so that I can plate up, obviously using my smokes to make sure that I have cover. But here it is again, right? Once again, edge of zone here. Cars right there literally just waiting for me. Just don't fight on the edge of zone. That's the #1 thing I can tell you. Just focus on rotating into zone early, putting yourself in a good position. I'm trying to take out the trophy system so I can thermite him. And once again, you see this really, really long rotation here. So immediately when I get that next rotation, guys, I'm noticing that. I'm recognizing that. Hey, we got a long rotation here. Let's be smart. I don't have enough for Yui, so we're just going to play high ground. That guy's down below. I thought about jumping down on him and trying to figure out what I wanted to do, but ultimately decided not to. Until I see him pop out of the car. Once he pops out of the car to buy back, I'm going to challenge this. I actually think I disable the vehicle. Do I disable it with the Krieg? Yeah, there's vehicle disabled. So now I kind of know he's stuck down here. This is an easy 1v1 fight, right? I know his teammate's going to be somewhere close by, but this is a pretty easy 1v1 fight at this point because he probably doesn't have a gun. This was the guy that was flying back in that grabbed the car. Yep, where are you? Let's just clear it. Let's clear through, figure out where he is. Once again, just flying outside to my left. Yep, so we're just going to go work this a little bit. Again, just not making... I should just go rotate into zone here and just use this Polaris to my left side, rotate into zone, Go fight the team. There's plenty of teams that are in zone. There's 29 teams left here, right? So I'm fighting 1 out of 29 teams. I could easily just go rotate in and put myself in a better position where I don't have to worry about this zone dynamic. This guy's going to take the car again. I wanted this kill so bad. Just nothing. Okay, let's go ahead and push this forward here. This guy's right here. I'm just going to run into him. Now, I am being hunted on a bounty who ends up being this team up top here. And what I ultimately see is this guy flying down. So the moment I see this, what I see is a 1v1 fight, right? So this is a 1v1, and then this guy's up top here. So that's kind of my thought process and why I get out of the car to fight this situation. Now, we'll let it play out. Let's let this play out for a little bit. We've been yapping. I'm a yapper, guys. I just want to try to help you. I want to help you guys get better so bad and just give you as much information as possible. Where is this guy? You know, this guy's straight ahead here. You know, obviously got to be careful of enemy number 2. Use our smokes, but that's a mistake on my end. Just kind of forgetting about enemy number 2. Not necessarily forgetting, but I just didn't put myself in a good position there. Still not enough for UAV, unfortunately. Right? That'd be great in this moment to be able to understand exactly who's around us. Like, where are these guys? Boom. I know we got a little bit of cash there. Still not enough, though. These guys are up top. Again, even if I get that down there, I'm not going to be able to get the thirst. Right? I'm not getting the thirst there. So, the crazy part is self-revives are quicker than PAs. So, even if I down the guy and call in a PA immediately and he has self, like, I can't revive. Now, at this moment, guys, this is a really important thing, and you're going to see this twice, actually, is just taking... Big part of winning gunfights is just taking smart fights. And just, like, being smarter. You know, in this situation, like, those guys are high ground. They're not moving, right? So, like, I could try to zip up and take that fight, or I can just leave them and be like, congratulations, guys. You guys win. You guys won the reward for sitting top hospital. And just not worry about it and go look for an easier fight. Go look for some guys that are out in the open or rotating in, you know, and trying to take advantage of those 1v1s. That's big game bounty averted. This guy, look at this guy straight ahead on the right side of car dealership, so a little bit out in the open here. Now, obviously not nearly as good of a player, but we still got to execute. He hits the snipe, so he actually almost sniped me there. And the mistake that I make in this situation is when we talk about information, guys... Like, I go to snipe that guy, fine. Again, not going to do anything with that, really. But more importantly is, where are all the other teams, right? So as I'm kind of approaching this, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be able to get this down in thirst, is like, I need to take note of where these other teams are. So that, because what ends up happening to me here is I get caught in this weird spot where I, like, go to snipe this guy, and then from here, you know, I grab the Krig back, and now we're going to go ahead and we're going to rotate. I knew that people were over this direction, but I had no idea where, right? Like, I didn't know what building they were in. Also, notice I am in zone now, so we're kind of... It's much easier to fight because it's one less thing I have to worry about, right? I don't have to worry about being caught on the edge of gas or anything. Just one less thing I got to worry about. Just kind of opening crates here for no reason. People in this building here, right? So I'm just going to go in and work up steps. Let me go ahead and start to kind of work this forward a little bit here. Let's work up steps. We're going to end up running into a team up top here, which we know about, right? So we're going to go ahead and shock charge. Boom, destroy that, take that out. You know, thermites happening. I don't know what those are. Those were my own thermites, I think, because I wanted to thermite the guy. But once again, guys, you see the same situation. Like, what are the odds that I kill these guys? Not very high. So, like, let's just leave it. Let's just be smart. Now, when you leave, right, go find another team. Right? Go find a different... Go push to a different area. Go figure out... Go grab a bounty. Go grab the supply run back behind me. Go say, hey, I have $16,000. Let me go pop a UAV here. And figure out where teams are. Now, unfortunately, in this situation, you know, as I'm working across here and kind of working towards UAV, I end up seeing this guy on my level. So I know that you know, buy station's just a little bit too risky in this moment to go hit. So we're just going to work inside. Yep. Oh, man, I want this UAV so bad, but when it comes to making smart rotations and making smart decisions about pushing. The reason that I hate pushing up these stairs is because I can get shot from every direction, right? Here, 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 here. I get shot from over here, here, here. Like, there's just way too many angles that I can get shot from. So I hate pushing up that center stairwell. I'm always thinking about keeping things in front of me where I can limit the number of angles I can get shot from. Question for you, Game Sense. Where is this team going? This team just rolled up. Watch them roll up in the car. Where are they going? To the zip. There's a zip back there. And I want to use this as an example, guys, of why head glitches are so important. Now, my thought process here is beat them to the spot. They don't know that I'm coming here. Let's beat them to the spot and try to catch them kind of rotating out in the open. But this guy makes a really, really good play here. This is why a head glitch is so important. I'm going to die here, by the way, guys. We'll talk about gulag strategy and regain. But look, I mean, literally, I see the guy's forehead. That's it. All I see is the guy's forehead. And obviously, this guy can literally see my entire body. That's why you always challenge off a head glitch. Googe, just the anticipation and centering. Slide around. It's a pretty easy kill right there. Nothing too crazy. Now, unfortunately here, I've got enough cash for loadout, but there's no buy station. You know, when I look at this circle here, okay? When I look at this circle... Did I open Big Mint? Yeah, I did. So when I look at this right here, I know that this one's not safe, and chances are this one's not safe. What are the odds, do you think, that there's a team floating around here in Boneyard? Probably pretty high, especially on the edge of zone. Teams love to play the edge of zone. I'm going to say pretty high here. The one thing that we do keep in mind here, guys, is that loadout drops. I think it's 44 seconds left with basically when fifth circle starts. Okay, so 44 seconds left here. So 3, 2, 1 more second, loadout drops. So that's the number you want to keep in mind, 44 seconds before fifth circle really starts to close. And we're going to go ahead and get loadout. I have no other option at this point, guys. I have absolutely no other option here but to get loadout. And then we once again work high ground. We notice this enemy up above us in the hills. Okay, so one enemy up above us in the hills here. Let's go play our positioning. Once again, haven't really used too much movement, maybe a little bit here and there. But really, guys, that positioning is so important, all based off of information. There's our plate right there. Sniper, one thing that can't happen here is I get one shot. That's the one thing that I cannot do in this moment. Now we just use tracker. One of the biggest reasons I love tracker is it, in my opinion, especially at those distances like 60, 70, 80 meters, it's really easy to track enemies. Now, what's the one thing I'm keeping in mind here? And we're going to circle back to this a lot, guys. High ground, right? I'm high ground on those enemies, but these guys are high ground on me, right? So I've got to be careful of this situation right here of people who have more high ground than me and shoot down on me and put me in a really bad spot. So that's kind of the one thing I'm really kind of keeping in mind throughout this. I need plates. I need just plates, ammo. I need a little bit of a regain here. I've got 17 kills, still 15 teams left here, so we're in a really good spot to be able to clutch up this 20-plus kill game. This is funny. Oh, people above. Yep, there's one right there. Give me that plate real quick. We finessed this team, guys. Jump spots is a big dynamic. That was not where I thought he was going to be. Jump spots are really, really important on this map to kind of be able to understand how to finesse enemies. I love that jump spot. Now, watch the anticipation and centering here. Where was that enemy the first time? Hey, you caught me off guard holding the doorway once. Shame on me. You tried to catch me off guard holding the doorway again. Shame on you. I mean, just absolutely perfect centering. Little bit of strafing. I don't take a ton of damage there. We use the thermite. Now, from here, what do? Oh, spring mine goes off, which is really unfortunate. But more importantly, I don't have plates. So I'm going to throw a smoke down and use the smoke as cover to kind of push up here and get some plates. At which point, I'm in a little bit better position to be able to challenge if somebody is wherever this second enemy is. Right? I know I can make up 50 health, guys. 150 health is really, really difficult, too. Yeah, let's use those just in case. Yep, thermite back. Grab gas mask. Perfect. Notice there's still a bunch of people high ground here. So, look, guys, in this moment right here, like, I want high ground, but I can't get it. right? And we're going to keep going back to this because there's people that are already above me and I can't fight for it. So I could fight for it, but I'm not in a good position to fight for it. So I can't really play high ground in this situation. I've just got to keep playing kind of one rotation, one fight at a time, and try to really kind of take off at any enemies that are down low. Maybe try to third party a little bit above me if I can, but try to play a little bit of one rotation at a time until I can get to a spot where I can ultimately win. Like, I'm thinking about working buy station here. You know, I'm thinking about maybe working buy station, you know, maybe UAV, maybe self-revive, and then I'm just like, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it in this situation. There's too many people around there. Let's work back this way here. There's a plate. Blue crates mean plates. Blue crates mean plates. Obviously, got to work ahead of zone here. And I know that I don't have far to go into zone, so we're okay here. Now, I'm thinking about going high ground, but I'm like, man, I'm going to have to, if I go high ground here, guys, I'm going to have to push somewhere out in the open here. And it's just not a good spot to be with people that are up higher than me. So I have to play low ground. I get a little bit lucky here, I'm going to be honest with you guys. We get a little lucky here. Yep. Give me that UAV. Biggest thing I notice here immediately, guys, is one guy on my level. He has to push right into me. So this should be a pretty easy kill right here. This should be a pretty easy kill. Just play our positioning. I'm not going to... Yep, I don't go full send this. I just play my head glitch, play my cover here. I've got plenty of areas to break this line of sight if I need to. That guy's completely caught out in the open. And then, of course, I noticed the guys to my left side here that just pulled up in the truck. Once again, we focus on that cover dynamic. Always focusing on cover. Always, always, always focusing on cover. Pull back. Always, always, always focusing on cover. Yep, there's where I can go if I need to break the line of sight. Still can't play up top. Still not a good area to play up top. Yeah, so I'm just... Watch this trigger discipline. You guys want to talk about patience? Let's talk about patience. This is 90% sure that I can get it down. Okay? 90% sure when I pulled the trigger. How hard is it to resist this urge right here? Because I don't think I can get the down. And I don't think that they know where I am. I don't think they know where I am. I don't think they know that I don't think they see me. So, resist. And they also have to push to me here. Resist the urge. Resist the urge. Resist. Resist the urge. Come on. Resist the urge. Don't do it. Don't do it. Now we can shoot, right? Now that guy's in zone. We're able to easily get that kill. That's number 20, by the way. We're in a 1v1v1v1v2. 1v1v1v1v2. And I'm just unsure if I can stay in this spot right here. I don't know if I can stay in this corner. Look at the circle pole. Look at the circle pole. Crazy circle pole here. One guy on my level right here. One guy above right there. One guy down, straight down lane. Straight down train lane. So I'm just going to keep playing really, really smart here. Really, really smart. Trigger discipline. Make sure we can get the down, because as soon as I shoot, people are going to know where I am.
You're in the top 3. Don't let up now.
Knocked. 1v2 situation. And high ground wins, guys. Those were the guys that were up top. Same team that killed me on the rooftop the first time. Definitely good players. They just... You're going to see it right here. I think I end up letting it play. They make the perfect play. They just keep their high ground as long as possible. They kind of spread perfectly. They've got multiple angles covered here. I mean, they played this perfectly as a duo. So, guys, aim, movement, positioning, and gameplay strategy on top of centering and anticipation. I hope you found today's video helpful. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.